All right, everyone. I hope at least Mark Roberts shows up. He's my buddy. I'm at the tail end of a 10-day stretch out here in the Ouachita Mountains of Oklahoma. And I'm getting a little homesick. So I'd like to get things wrapped up. Going to give it one more night. And I was able to get through the creeks today and go to Mena, Walmart, get some supplies. So I felt good about that. But that was my first interaction with people in a good stretch of time. So it just kind of made me a little homesick. There was a young man helping me through the turnstile there at the cash register. You could tell, he was a teenager. And I had my GoPro camera because when I went in to get the propane tanks and some other stuff, I filmed some of the process, just going into Walmart and driving into Mena. So when I had it on, going through the cash register, I asked him, I said, are you okay with being on YouTube, on a YouTube channel? And he's like, yeah. And so I told him what it was. So I see that I got one more subscriber, so I'm sure it's that kid. But I'm going to definitely have to make sure that I put him on that next video of me going through Walmart. Oh, hey, Kathleen, you're the only one here. So I was just rambling. Oh, hey, Pat, what's going on, buddy? I'm about to wrap things up. Yeah, I've been here for so long that didn't realize I was missing interactions with people. But I got Facebook, and so you got interactions that way, and even going live, with some semblance of civility, interacting with people, but not like the face-to-face when I was in town. Who's asked me? Pat. Yeah. There's some interesting stuff happening. I can't wait to get home and dissect it a little more and put it in a better presentation. But the second night with the tent up there on the ridge, I had a visitor the second night too. A couple hours after the audio shut off, there was something in there behind the brush pile. So I'm anxious to get those put down so people can listen to them as they happen. I have not looked at the pictures that's on that little log camera that was up there. I am praying that there is something on those pictures. But when I get home, get all the audio downloaded and spliced up and put together, this is going to take a while. But I liked the way the tent was set up, and the fact that something came in a couple hours after the audio shut down 2 nights in a row. I have high hopes for maybe that camera picking up something. But needless to say, I'm going to put all that down. And, when the tent is zipped up, I mean, all you can see is movement with that light. It's not like even if there was a mannequin in there, well, maybe a mannequin can put a shadow on the wall, but then the shadow would, well, maybe the flickering light would make the mannequin shadow look like it was moving also. Yeah, that's interesting, Pat. I might have to consider that. Even a cardboard cutout of the side profile of a person's upper body, as long as the flickering light is on the other side of them, could look like they're moving in the tent. Tree structures. Well, I had a discussion today about tree structures. I think you guys are going to like it because there's a big X right here. I can see this big X right in the front of the woods here. So somebody saw my picture and they were asking about the X. So I spent about 4 or 5 hours thinking about tree structures and stuff like that. And so I tried to have a logical discussion about it, and I think you guys will like it. So yeah, so you'll just have to wait for that. But yeah, you've got all your typical tree stuff, you know, blowovers and bendovers and bows and X's and all that kind of stuff. Uh, so, but tonight I did take a recording log, and this time, instead of putting one up on the ridge, I walked about 200 or 300 yards along the creek and then went away from the creek because I didn't want to have to listen to water through the recording. But I moved it up and away from the creek in north from my camp, and I actually tied little pipe cleaners, orange pipe cleaners, in a straight line on the trees so that I could find my way to it. And then I did something that I normally don't do, and I recorded it, but I found an old hedge fence post, and I've been doing a couple of tree knocks right here at camp because it's going to be my last night, and I was thinking, man, I really want something to come down here all the way to my campsite if I'm being observed in any way. So I'm still going to have the thermal sticking up out of the top of my tent tonight, and, just in case, get some kind of visitor. But yeah, I mean, I've done a couple of tree knocks that I normally do not do, and I've got a recorder 300 yards away, and it looks like that's where the creek comes down out of the hills, and then there's a dip in there where the ridge is on the right side and the creek is on the left side. So that would certainly be a travel route coming down through here, So I'm we'll see what happens tonight, but I've clearly had enough. I've reached my limit. 10 days. I'm about ready to go home, lay in my own bed. I'm sure my dogs miss me. I miss them, and everybody else, the wife, kids, grandkids. So I'm anxious to get home. But Jennifer wants to know, where is Randy camping? Well, I've got to be honest with you. The gentleman who invited me here is really protective of where it's at. And we were kind of laughing because I am some distance away from Honubby, but he said that's the only town I can tell you that I'm close to. So I'd say I'm within 30 miles of Honubby, and that's about as close as I can get you to this location, just because it's a private property surrounded by thousands of, tens of hundreds of thousands of acres of national forest. And I'm on the upper northwest corner of his property. Had to drive through 3 or 4 creeks to get here. It's been a nightmare because, like, if anybody's been kind of keeping track of what's going on, it rained cats and dogs for 3 or 4 days my first stretch here, and I couldn't get out until today, and I was so thankful to be able to get out today, and it was still slick and muddy, and the water was deep, but I was able to get the vehicle through. So that means tomorrow I should be good to go, and so glad for that. Yeah, Patrick. I mean, just think, if things got sketchy, and hell, what do you do? You can't get out. So if things got sketchy, I mean, I guess at the very minimum, I could have waded across some of that water, but I'd have been wet and cold. But no, I couldn't have done that. I would go ahead and take my chances staying on this side of the water with an angry Bigfoot, as opposed to getting wet from the waist down and having to walk a couple of miles freezing. So, never heard of Honubby? Are you kidding me? Jennifer, where are you from? You got to be joking. Anyways, Honubby. Yeah. Punch in Honubby Bigfoot. Oh, you're from Las Vegas? Wow. Yeah, punch in, but Honubby, it's pronounced Honubby, but it's spelled Honobia. That's a Native American name. Honobia is the way it looks like it should be said, but it's pronounced Honubby. Look up Honobia Bigfoot, and you'll get all kinds of stuff that you can read about. So that's the area that I'm in, and I've spent 20 years on that ridge south of Honobia, Honubby. It's where we got the Ridge Walker video. Just east of there is the Humphreys cabin, where the siege of Humphreys cabin happened. Recently, I was just at a cabin about 10 miles from there where the guy, remember the video I did where the young female Bigfoot was coming up on the front porch, jiggling the doorknob, trying to open up the front door of the cabin? That's just, a few miles down the road from Honubby. So, well, it looks like, Mark Roberts must be at a basketball game. He's a commentator at high school basketball games. So he's my buddy though. He always shows up as a regular. Oklahoma, your family's from Enid. Well, yeah, I know where that's at. I might have even driven through there a couple of times. So you're over there on the on Highway 35 side, I'm thinking. Isn't it Enid over there by Oklahoma City? Whiskey from the field. Hi from Glacial? Did I say that correctly? Galatia? Interesting. Where's that at? What state? What state is that at? Whiskey from the field. What state is that? All right. Well, I don't suppose I may do a couple more tree knocks tonight. I want to make sure that if there's something up there in the hills that it knows I'm here tonight. I'm going to settle in the tent, and with the thermal camera sticking up out of the top. I mean, it is a dark mother out here tonight. So I remember the first night the moon was kind of bright, so it was visibility is pretty good. But as you can see behind me, if it wasn't for this campfire right here lighting up my face, it would be pitch black. Weekend Warriors from Texas. Hey, glad you're here, buddy. I need to get down to Texas. Last time I was down there, went down to Palisade. I don't know if it's Palisade. It slips my mind, but we went down on the Neches river bottoms, and we had some interesting things happen down there. Oh, Jennifer, I'll be as safe as I can possibly be. Keep my bear spray handy. I say that, and I don't know where it's at right now. So if something went down right now, it would just rely on you guys being witnesses. But if I thought I was in a sketchy situation, I would have that grizzly bear spray in my pocket. All right, Spain. Whiskey from the field, you're checking in from Spain? That is wild. I appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, I would think with whiskey from the field, you'd be straight out of Texas with a name like that. Weekend Warriors, hopefully we can meet up either in Oklahoma or here in Texas. That would be great. I'd love to get down to the Big Thicket. I am tired of hearing stories about the Big Thicket, and I think that would be a great place to take my thermal drone. Not enough thermal drone action down there in the Big Thicket. So if there's some stuff going on, we need to be looking at it from the sky. Blood Mountain, Georgia. Oh my God. The name alone makes me want to be there. Oh, that is awesome. Oh, man, my bucket list of places that I want to go is so long. I don't know how I'm ever going to fill it. But yeah, Georgia, man, Alabama, Louisiana, Kentucky. I mean, I went over to Kentucky once, but not enough. I mean, Tennessee, man, I'd love to go to Mary Green's old areas up in Madison County and places like that. Why didn't I bring my dogs? I think my dogs are runners, and I would have to keep them tied up. Uh, I would hate to lose the dogs out here. If they ever, when they get out of the fence at home, they are, you cannot catch them. They, I would be, there's no way. I just couldn't do it. I would be a nervous wreck because I don't think I could trust my dogs to stay. And next thing you know, they'd be so far away, they'd be lost, and I would be heartbroken. Good area in the big thicket for sure. Oh yeah, Sam Houston. You're making my heart race there a little bit, Weekend Warriors. I got to get down there. Mm-mm. Hey, Mr. Duffy. It's been a minute. I didn't think going live here, wrapping this thing up would be such an active thing for people to pop in on. But I mean, there's not much going on. I'm just, the last night. I'm about to try to wrap things up. Tomorrow I'm going to start packing things up. Bear on the Bigfoot Crossroads. Was that recently? Was that recent? I mean, I've heard Bear before, and I've heard the Crossroads before, but not him on the Crossroads. Southern California. You've seen it in Southern California twice. I like it. I went out there, drove up the coast in the Redwoods, all the way to San Francisco, and I'd like to spend some more time there. Yeah. I mean, I appreciate you, Mr. Duffy. You're one of the few that get your knees dirty, get out there and get the game on, and that's always appreciated. Randy, why didn't you ask MK Davis where that property is in East Texas where he broke down the video of the 16? I knew that hey, MK Davis has a lot of info, and if you let him go down off track, we would talk for hours and hours and hours because he has so many different things that he's worked on. So I wanted to try to keep it focused. And that's why at the beginning of the video with Mr. Davis, I was like, okay, I want to be focused on this particular thing because of the information that's available on it. And that leaves it open for future discussions where we can talk about something else. If I let him just jump from subject to subject, then it would dilute. If I wanted to spend a whole hour or two on a specific subject, I don't want it to be diluted within a conversation of something else. Does that make sense? Yeah, Mount Shasta. Yeah, and that's just a little southeast of Mount St. Helens. I have not made it there yet. I was at Mount St. Helens, where I've got that bluff charge. That that video about the bluff charge. It was incredible. But yeah, I've heard great stories about Mount Shasta. Would like to get down there. Jennifer says sister lives in Redding. Ooh, Redding, man. That's right up there by Orleans and Happy Camp and all of the good areas. And she's lucky. You're lucky to have a sister that lives there, because then you could just go up there. Yeah, Mr. Duffy, I do need to get out there in Colorado. Man. It's on my bucket list, man. And I'm not getting any younger, so one of these days I'll probably be out there with a jazzy scooter, a 4-wheel drive jazzy scooter. All right, well, you know, I guess we can go ahead and let this thing sign off. Let it die a natural death. I will, buddy. I will hit you up. I mean, I'm gonna have to clear my schedule, figure out how you know, my wife wants to take a trip to Colorado, and if I take a trip with her, then there's no way I'm gonna get to do any bigfooting, because those two, a vacation with her and a bigfooting doesn't mesh. So it's one or the other. Matt Brecker, are you still doing research at the 400 with Shane? That remains to be seen. We'll see what develops out there. Maybe. You know, I suppose he'll be getting back out there after the hunting season, and we'll see what's going on out there. Hey, Patrick, thank you for showing up, buddy. I appreciate you. You've supported me from the beginning. I think you were subscriber number 12. Mark Roberts was subscriber number 11. Well, thank you, Jennifer. Merry Christmas, my friend. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. Hey, Duffy, I know you can show me a couple things out there. I always think about it. Every once in a while, I get over there and check on your stuff. You've got some stuff going on. So, all right. Well, hey, y'all. We're about 20 some odd minutes in here, and I don't really have a whole lot to tell you. Just let you know I'm gonna be packing stuff up tomorrow, and I'm ready to hit the road. Fix me a big old cup of coffee, pack everything up, drive through 3 creeks to get out of here, and hit the road. So, all right. I'll talk to y'all later.